There are different ways how you can control multiple LED controllers. If your project requires more than one device, you can always have a PC with your favorite software running and you can send the content in real time. Unless, of course, you can't have the PC. You can see that I have 3 controllers on the table and the animation playing is synchronized across all 3 of them. I am, however, not running any specialized software on my PC and the animations are in sync. Today I would like to show you how to synchronize multiple controllers using DMX Synchronization. This feature allows to build a standalone, softwareless project which does not require a PC running in the background. A good example to demonstrate what type of client might benefit from this solution is a club, where it can serve as a complementary control option. Along with your DJ or VJ playing with lights during their session, you can have a tablet with your staff, and up to the point when the first track starts, they can simply change the effects with a simple click. And what is required in order for this DMX synchronization to work? Well, a bunch of SD cards, a couple of DMX cables, is obviously it's called DMX synchronization, and of course a few controllers. Now these two can all work with DMX synchronization and synchronize this small device. However, it won't work the other way around. And of course then you need a PC. Wait a second, but you said that you don't need a PC. Well, obviously you need to set some things up and then right after that you can turn the PC off. I promise. As with any other project, you have to first create mapping in LED Strip Studio software. Those of you who just started to work with this program, I recommend to watch a tutorial, a previous online training, which is available on the link in the video description. It's for free. We are talking extensively about the software and also how to create the mapping. You can access mapping by clicking here. And you can see that I have already created one for the 3 controllers that you can see on the table. Each controller is represented by an IP address. These 2 are ArtNet converters, so SPI Matrix, and since I am working with ArtNet converters, I will be using ArtNet portion of the mapping. The 2 strips connected to the black boxes are represented by these 2 lines. And the line in the middle is strip connected to white small controller that sits in the middle. This is SPI LED controller. I cannot access it with the software directly since it does not have Ethernet connectivity. However, I have to incorporate it in the mapping because you have to export the effects to this controller as well in order to utilize DMX synchronization. For this controller, I have to create something that we call a dummy device. It can have any IP address that you want, but naturally I have picked 222 so that it will continue with my other 2 controllers that are connected. You can then create your own animations or effects. Once again, I recommend to watch the online training session where we are talking also about how to create your own effects or how to use those that are already in the animation library. I can mention that there is a ton of pre-made effects that you can use so that you don't have to really create your own. I have already created a bunch of my own effects, which I have put into a separate bank. And you can see them playing out on the LED strips. Naturally, the strip in the middle, which is connected to SPI LED controller, does not show any content because you cannot control it from the software directly. I have also made one LED show where I have put the 3 effects one after another, and I will be exporting that effect as well to an SD card. To play the effects directly from your controller, you have to export the animation that you have created. You can find this option by going to Tools, and there you will select to export LSS3 or LN2 format, which is the correct format for these controllers. You can either export scene by scene, or you can hit export bank, and this will export all these effects in this particular bank. Once you hit it, the software will ask you to which device you want to export the effects to. By that I mean, what is the IP address of the controller that you want to export these effects to. This is the dummy device. which we have created previously. However, since I have the same number of pixels in each strip, and I don't want to play different animations on each of those strips, but the same animation, I can only export it once. You will hit OK and you will select where you want to save your effects. I have put the SD card already into the PC, so I can save it directly to the SD card. You will hit again OK. The software is asking what is the starting index of the first animation that you want to export, which can be 1, and then you can check your SD card for the animations that you've exported. While still in the software, you can export a LSS SPI settings file. I'll tell you what it is in a second. You can find it by clicking on Other and LSS SPI settings. This is a small text file which you have to export and upload along with the animations to your SPI controller every time that you are working with it. The controller is looking into this file for instructions for what to do. And since we want to use DMX synchronization, we have to, in advanced settings, make sure that this feature is enabled. Also, you have to make sure that the mode that the controller is working in is SD card, not pixel. Similarly to SPI LED controller, we will enable DMX synchronization for SPI Matrix. You don't have to, however, export any text file, but you can do this change in the web config. You can access it by typing the IP address of your controller into your web browser. This is given that your PC and controllers are on the same network. You will go to Advanced Settings, and there you will find Enable DMX Synchronization. You will tick on and don't forget to hit Save. Also, you can check what is the mode that the controller is working in. This setting is shared through SACN, ArtNet and DMX, so it doesn't really matter where you will enable it, and you want to work in SD card mode, not pixel. You can check that in the status bar. This is also represented by the different icon. So pixel and SD card. Once again, don't forget to hit save. You will do the same for any number of controllers that you want to use. I will again go to advanced settings, enable DMX synchronization, save, not pixels, but SD card mode. With the effects on SD cards and settings for each controller, namely SPI LED controller, I will now patch the devices together, and that is really the only thing that's left. So you will take, or I will take these DMX cables, and this is the first controller in line. So it is a master device that will synchronize these two controllers together. So I have to go from DMX out to this controller's DMX in, and from that controller, from DMX out to the third controller in line, DMX in. You can tell by a fast blinking yellow LED that these controllers are receiving DMX data. With the two hardware buttons, I can check whether the synchronization is working. And perhaps more conveniently, I can also check it with the web player that I have on the tablet. What's great about this web player is that you can protect it with a password, so you can prevent any unwanted changes by, for example, your staff. What's also great is that you can customize it. This is a customized design of the web player. For the purposes of this tutorial, the default player looks very similar. However, you can change the branding, and you can change also how the buttons appear and what is the number of displayed buttons. For a small fee, we can do this customization on request. DMX synchronization is a nice feature that can be used on various applications and in various projects. Hopefully this was helpful. If you have any question in regards to this, let us know.